Peace and welcome, family. It's great to see everybody. I just want to reach out again. Just as I'm on this journey again, I want to just include you guys on every step because it's really so fulfilling in my heart to feel, the energy that I get when I speak to people about what it is that I'm doing and what has been placed on me to share with others, right? So I was in the gym this morning and I was talking with a brother and we just started talking and, I kind of led into, what I've been working on. And we just started talking and going into, how we've seen this intergenerational trauma translate in today. So this gentleman is a recruiter for a very, prominent company. And he says how many people he sees come in that are broken, that he can tell by the way that they interview. Very smart, intelligent, but they have issues that basically based on his training, he's able to identify as issues. And we were able to correlate that some of those issues are actually coming from past traumas that we identified as coming from things that may have happened to them more than likely in a relationship with an elder, parent, or family member. But not only that, also how he can tell how they're going to perform in that company based on those traumas. So it was just really eye-opening to see how connected that trauma is to what we show up as, how we show up. We're thinking we're showing up sharp and the shirt is tight and the tie is great and all these other things, right? But people who are trained see beyond that. They can see there's something else wrong. There's something else that needs to be worked on. We're missing something. We're not firing on all pistons, as they say, right? And not in a bad way. Like I said, we could be high achievers, high earners. But emotionally, something is off. And we got to talking how much we watch those things affect our community. How much we don't understand how those things, even those colloquialisms that have been passed down. Hey, don't stay outside in the sun too long. You're gonna get dark. Just think about that. I mean, I know some of us have heard that our entire lives. Especially from my community, the Black community, the African American community. We have heard that. The Caribbean community, we have heard that. Don't stay outside in the sun too long, you're gonna get dark. What does that even mean? What does that mean? You're gonna get dark? So is that a negative that you're gonna get dark? Unidentified phrases having effects on us that we don't even really fully understand. But yet we'll pass that down to our children immediately. We'll say it to them immediately. Hey, get up out the sun. You're gonna get dark. I mean, to me, that's absolutely crazy. Now that I understand it, now that I understand it, I'm aware of it. It's like, what? Like, what are we talking about? Not even understanding, how that feels and how that translates to a person of a darker complexion. Something's wrong because I'm already dark, right? This is what they're saying in their head. So now how is that translating in their relationships? How is that translating in their everyday relationships? How is that translating into their value for themselves? It's crazy. And that's just a small one because we talked for about, which is crazy. I was in there working out and he came up to me, we started talking and I literally totally forgot I didn't follow through with my entire workout because our conversation got so deep. We probably talked for about 45 minutes. I talked more than I worked out. How about that? But again, I worked out this. So, hey, I'll make that exchange every once in a while, because mental health is just as strong as physical health, right? Or even more valuable than physical health. Because without the mental health, the physical health, you can walk around like a zombie, like, you know, you could be a strong zombie, but who the hell wants to be that, right? I know I don't, right? I'd much rather be aware and cognizant of everything that's happening around me. So we talked about it, and like I said, him as a high-level recruiter, he said he just sees so many men and women coming in to, you know, apply for these jobs, which he says are great paying jobs. Like I said, I don't want to mention his company, you know, for whatever reason, but I will have him on. We actually talked about him because we had such a great conversation. I said, I think that your perspective might be actually valuable to some of the audience, right? They might understand, well, you know, I've gone for jobs and maybe this is why I didn't get the job. Because I was definitely qualified. I definitely knew what I was doing. I definitely presented myself well. My resume was polished. I got ChatGPT to do it. It was the best resume, you know, in the world. I got, you know, a ChatGPT resume maker. So why didn't I get the job? Maybe they saw something that showed that you would have some, you know, emotional or social deficiencies. There would be some difficulty in you relating to getting jobs done. This is what he showed. I'm just giving you some of the things that he told me. You know, and then we got even deeper into this brother, and you know, I pray that, you know, he doesn't, you know, because he does have a foundation, so I'm assuming that he's okay with this at this point. But he expressed to me, you know, some of his challenges, right, in terms of, you know, needing and the need to relate to people, but understanding that he has to be right within himself to express that to other people. So, you know, he has a foundation for pediatric cancer. Really not talked about, but, you know, there's a population that, you know, gets diagnosed with cancer as children. And the struggles that it places on people, right? Struggles that they have to bear alone sometimes, and without the proper foundation within themselves to handle that, right? Just think about what that is. Think about your child being diagnosed with cancer and you having to face that alone, or even having to face that without the proper mental foundation. You got some people who feel they'll back away. They'll separate themselves from that result, right? Because they don't understand how to connect and apply themselves to that particular, I don't even want to call it an event, because it's beyond that. This is a life altering challenge. You'll never be the same. Your child gets diagnosed with cancer. Your life just changes. So that, but without the proper mental health and awareness and stability that comes from knowing who you are, knowing your connection to your creator, it's going to be super difficult. So he's created a support group, an awareness group around that for families that are struggling with that, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having him on the platform and having a dialogue with him to kind of accentuate the strength, the support, the nurturing necessary to go through those types of obstacles, and how crazy they connect to cleaning up the past, the intergenerational trauma. They connect to needing to get that out your system, to be prepared for challenges like that, to be prepared for obstacles that absolutely are coming your way. I can promise you that. I'd bet all my money, I'd bet everything I have in this world, you're going to come across some obstacles that you're not prepared for, or that you could be prepared for if you had only prepared yourself, your inner self. Not your shirt, not that tight shirt, not that beautiful, you know, designer name brand shit, not that break, that good hairdo, the baby hairs laying down on top of your head. Not that. Talking about something else. We're talking about something else, right? So I want to make you aware of that, so that, you know, these are things and challenges that are coming. You know, these are things and challenges that we need to be prepared for. And preparation is an awareness of what needs to be prepared for. Strength is built through exercise of the mind. So mental strength is only built through exercise of the mind. The same way physical strength is built through strengthening your muscles. You got to strengthen your mind the same way. And knowledge of self, which is what a lot of this is about. It's about knowledge of self, knowledge of your relation to the Most High, knowledge of your relation to the universe, knowledge of your relation to humanity, knowledge of your relation to mankind. If you don't understand that, you'll be lost, because you won't even know that you were done wrong. You won't even know to apologize or to accept an apology from thing, to give yourself grace. You won't even know to give yourself grace. You'll just be going through it and kind of just figuring it out and taking the lumps as you go, which who the hell wants to do that when there's actual ways to be better, to be stronger, to be confident, to be cognizant. There's ways to do it. There just is. And like I said, it was a beautiful conversation, a brotherly conversation, a loving conversation, where we acknowledged the power of communication. Woo! The power of communication. Communicating with each other, communicating with your family, communicating with your community, communicating with your elders, communicating with your ancestors, communicating with God. Communication brings forth understanding. You can't receive wisdom unless your ears are ready. Somebody, you know, it's this thing I read a long time ago, which was the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. I'm gonna repeat that. Some of you gotta sit down and process. The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. You have to be prepared to receive this knowledge. You got to prepare yourself. You got to prepare the soil, like you do with when you plant food and you plant anything. You got to prepare the soil. You can't just throw the vegetable in the soil and think it's gonna mature and bring forth the fruit or vegetable that you want. No, you got to prepare that soil. You got to make sure it's right. You got to add the certain nutrients to the soil. Right? Some of the nutrients is what you consider garbage. But you got to add it. You just got to know how to add it and where to place it and how soon to place it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same ideal that goes into what you have to place in your mind to be prepared to grow. And the way you learn that is through communication with others that are wiser and others that are less wise than you. Because in ignorance, there is lessons. There are lessons in ignorance. Darkness and light is one and the same. Even in the dark, things are growing. Think about that. Even in the dark, things are growing. That baby in that mother's stomach is in darkness, growing, learning, becoming, until they come out to the light. And your knowledge is no different. Your growth is no different. Your wisdom is no different. So again, family, I wanted to share this with you. I appreciate you taking this ride with me. As always, please, any comments, I want to know what you're thinking. I want you to be a part of my healing journey, because I am healing. I am becoming. I am better today than I was yesterday, and I'll be better tomorrow. As God prepares this path for me and opens these doors for me, I'm opening them, I'm walking through them with confidence and with love, with character, with integrity. And I appreciate you on the journey, family. Please, y'all have a great rest of the day. Peace.